Everybody, it's Darren again, all-wheel drive GT2, and today we're going to talk about installing a Kirkey race seat. So I've already done the install. There's Charlotte right there. But today, we're going to go through the steps that it took and some of the fabrication you're going to have to do, the hardware you're going to need, and basically show you how I did my install. Now, I'm not the one-all be-all. If you guys have installed one or you think you got some better ideas, by all means, comment below. But before I talk about the install, I'd be remiss if I didn't give a quick lesson on hardware. Guys, here's the deal. This is a life-saving device, okay? And I do not want you to use cheap bolts. And if you don't know how to identify a bolt, listen up. I'm going to give you a quick little lesson. Again, there's so many different bolts you can use, but if you understand the basics, definitely could potentially save your life. So that's why I'm going to go down this little rabbit hole. So you have, of course, your SAE standard and your metrics. SAE is your fractional sizes, your 1/4 inch, your 5/8, your 7/16, and then you have metric. Each bolt on its head will have a marking, okay? If you're going to use standard SAE size bolts for your hardware installation, that's like your 5/16, your 3/8 bolts. What you want to look for is at least a grade 5, okay? And how you identify a grade 5 bolt is, if you look here on the head, you'll see 3 tick marks. 1, 2, 3. Here's another example. You see 3 tick marks. So all grades start with 2, and then you just add the tick marks. So these are grade 5 bolts. They have a really high tensile strength, somewhere around 105,000 pounds per square inch. Do not use anything less than a grade 5 bolt. If you can get your hands on a grade 8 bolt, even better. This is a grade 8 bolt. If you notice, there's going to be 6 tick marks there. They even have a higher tensile strength, but a minimum of grade 5 bolts for your hardware installation, okay? If it doesn't have any tick marks like this is just a grade 2 bolt. It's just a mild steel. Do not use cheap bolts on your install. Your life depends on it, okay? So there's that. Now, you're going to come across some other bolts. Like this one here is A2-70. Quick Google search. A2 is a tool steel. It's a good stainless. It has a tensile strength of around 101,000 psi, which is equivalent to your grade 5s. So if you come across these at Lowe's or Home Depot or Tractor Supply, they are okay to use. These are pretty good. A2-70. Now, when it comes to metrics, instead of using tick marks, a good grade will have a number on it. So let's see if I can find one. Yeah, like this one here. Okay. Nope. This one here. Sorry about that. So if you notice, this says 8.8. Okay, sorry about that. Neighbor stopped by. So when it comes to metrics, instead of having tick marks, you're going to have a number, either 8.8 or 10.9. So an 8.8 is equivalent to a grade 5. They're the same. But because this is a metric, that's how they designate the tensile strength. The next size up would be a 10.9. These would be equivalent to a grade 8. So if you come across 10.9, those are equivalent to grade 8. 8.8s are equivalent to grade 5. So do not use anything less than grade 5, guys, on your hardware. Okay, so this particular bolt is the one that I used to bolt in my seat. What I ended up doing is taking the factory bolt out, going down to Home Depot, checking the pitch, finding that exact pitch and length I needed, and that's what I ended up using. I don't have it off the top of my head, but what I will do before I post this video, I will put the metric length and pitch. So if you needed to go out and buy them, you can buy the same ones. Again, it's going to have to be a metric, so look for the 8.8. It's a good and equivalent to grade 5. All right, so there's the rabbit hole. Let's talk about the install. So the first thing I did used a 1-inch square piece of aluminum right here. We'll take a quick measurement of this if I can. All right, so this is just at 20 inches long. I opted for aluminum for weight. It still has really good strength, sort of a compromise, but that was the base. 20-inch, 1-inch piece stock of aluminum, square stock. Next thing, you got to get the seat up. Now I'm 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", I'm 160 pounds. I knew I needed to get the seat up a little bit higher to where the factory one sits. So the technique I used was, this is a 2-inch angle iron, and it is out of steel. And then I found I'm going to need some spacers too. So I used some more aluminum square stock, just cut. It's about another 1.5 inches to get it to my height. So if you notice, the bolts I used here are all SAE, which means they're fractional. If you see got 3 tick marks, they're all grade 5. I wouldn't use anything less. And I used 3 bolts to secure the angle iron to the 1-inch square stock. So when you buy your seat, you're going to have to get the universal bracket that comes with it. So this is a Kirkey. It's a 16-inch. And Kirkey has their own universal brackets. They're usually out of stock on them for whatever reason. So I just was on Summit, and Summit had an identical universal bracket. So if you notice, there's 4 holes here, and then there's a bunch here. I just ended up going in the back one. It just seemed to work well for me. And then you can tilt the seat using these slots here. So you can see I'm on the second one. I can actually tilt this up a little bit higher or drop it a little bit farther down. But as far as that goes, that's how I installed my Kirkey. And I got it right where the factory one is. I'm very comfortable. It's not a difficult task. After you get this bolted in, you can just kind of dry fit all these parts, kind of slide into the seat. Slide it back and forth where you need it, where you feel comfortable. If you need to raise it up a little bit, just, you know, work on some spacers. And once you're happy, just bring a marker with you and just start marking holes, and then bring everything back out, drill your holes and mount it up. Now let's talk about the seat belt. We're going to go on the other side. Okay, so for the seat belt, what I did is I went to a junkyard. I went to a picket place. So I think it was out of a truck or something, but it basically had the same receptacle as the Kia. All right, this would be your female portion. The male portion that comes in the car clicks right in. I did not skimp on hardware. Again, I used SAE. These are grade 5 bolts. You see the 3 tick marks. It goes right through. Again, don't mess around with cheap hardware, especially with this. Okay, so that's basically how I did got the Kirkey set up to go into the car. So we're gonna head out to the car, and I'll show you some of the measurements you're gonna need to get this thing in. All right, so we're in the Kia. What you're gonna need is the distance, obviously, from the center of that bolt to the center of that bolt. Right there, these are the ones that come out. I'm not going to tell you exactly what those measurements are. Guys, you just have to do that on your own. Okay, so here's the other really big question is, what do you do with all these? You get your airbag, your power, your heated seats, your seatbelt warning. So I will tell you from experience, because I've had this seat installed, I've gone to the track, you don't have to do anything with these. Nothing, zero. Just leave them. All right? Even though this isn't attached to the seatbelt, you will not get a seatbelt warning. The only thing that's going to happen on your dashboard is you're going to get one LED with a airbag warning. That's it. So don't sweat these cables. Don't worry about wiring anything in. As long as you've got a good female receptacle to snap in to your buckle, you're going to be good. Now, pulling out the driver's seat, I'm going to give you guys a tip. If you've never pulled it out, it's a little more challenging than the passenger side, okay? Come over here to the back door. Okay, guys, so when you pull out your driver's seat, and make your life easy. First thing you want to do is slide your seat all the way forward and take out your 2 back bolts. Then slide the seat all the way back, take out your front 2 bolts, tilt the seat up, and unconnect or disconnect all your cables. Once you've got the seat tilted back, remove the headrest. I'm going to say that again. Remove the headrest. You can't pull the headrest with the seat in the car. You have to do it while the seat is tilted back. It's going to give you a lot more room and make that seat come out easier. The next thing is, do not try to take the seat out the passenger door. I'm sorry, your driver's door. It's a nightmare. You get your steering wheel in the way. You're going to mark up all your panels. The easiest way to do it is to open up this back door, slide the seat back, and pull it out the back door, guys. That is the best and safest way to get your seat out without breaking your back. Okay, I got the Kirkey in. This is what it looks like from the back. And this is what it looks like from the front. You can see I got my metric grade 8.8 hardware bolted in there and there. And overall, it's a really good fit. I have no issues climbing in and out. I got good foot pedal, good brake. Everything's right where I need it. I can see over the dashboard just the way the factory is. Just climbing in and out, it's a little more effort, but not bad. So the last note on the Kirkey seat, this one here is a 16-inch. So you can buy them in 16-inch, 17-inch, 18-inch. And I will tell you guys that you could probably, if you've got wider hips than I do, you weigh a little more, you could probably get away with a 17-inch. I think a 17-inch Kirkey seat will fit, even though it gets a little tight over here. I think it could be offset. 18 may be a little bit too hard, but I'd hate for you to have to buy a seat and then have to return it for a smaller one. But I went with the 16. It works well for me. I'm pretty sure a 17-inch would fit in here just as good. But that's it, guys. It's pretty simple install. Don't take a lot of fabrication. Really, all you got to do is be able to cut some aluminum and some angle iron. If you only had a hacksaw, that would work. And even if you didn't have a drill press, just a drill, and you could fabricate the stuff you needed to put in your Kirkey. That's it. Thanks for watching.